coronavirus powerful enough to stop not only the country, but also change the future of our elections? Seems odd that we can still use the self-checkout machine at the local grocery store, but yet a voting booth come November may not be an option. A button can be wiped. I want to ensure this election won't be. For MRC-TV, I'm Jessica Kramer. Nancy Pelosi is now asking for $2 to $4 billion in the next stimulus bill for mail-in voting. I decided to ask Hans von Spakovsky, an expert in voter fraud at the Heritage Foundation, about whether or not this is necessary and if he thinks this is the right time to be discussing this. Suffice it to say, he doesn't think that something 6 months away should be determined now.
Nancy Pelosi is pushing for this to be the normal. She is pushing to force the states, this was a provision in her bill, to force the states to mail an absentee ballot to every single registered voter. Well, the problem with that, of course, is that registered voter lists around the country are in notoriously bad shape. They are filled with the names of voters who have moved out of state, who've died, who are still on the list, which means you would have all these ballots floating around out there. And someone might take advantage of that. Vote harvesters, people working for candidates, for example, might be going through neighborhoods, collecting those ballots and making sure that they do get voted.
When asked if the money that Nancy Pelosi is asking for is needed if it comes to this, Hans is calling her bluff.
Now, Nancy Pelosi is wrong. There isn't any need for more federal money. The coronavirus bill, the CARE Act, that got passed by Congress and signed into law by the president, already had $400 million in it that was given to the U.S. Election Assistance Commission for them to distribute right away to the states to help them deal with the coronavirus in this election. So the states aren't out there demanding more money. We've already given them $400 million to do that.
He actually says the federal government shouldn't be involved in all. States actually administer elections. In fact, it's actually going to come up to each individual state on whether or not we do absentee voting come this fall.
They want all these federal mandates to basically short circuit and get rid of all the security protocols that states have in place. Her bill had all kinds of terrible provisions in it, including things like barring any state from having a voter ID law in place. So it's just a vehicle for getting rid of security protocols that Democrats don't like.
Are we surprised? Let's not forget, this isn't the first public health crisis, and it certainly won't be the last.
But the other thing also to keep in mind is this. Other countries have held elections in the midst of public health crises, and they have done it successfully. And Wisconsin very successfully just had its primary, including both absentee balloting and in-person voting. And they simply took the same kind of precautionary steps in the polling places that all of us are seeing and taking when we go out and go to the grocery store or go to Home Depot or go to the drugstore. And in fact, the turnout in that election at the beginning of April was almost the same equivalent to the turnout in the 2008 Wisconsin primary when Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton were battling for the nomination. So in fact, it didn't even hurt turnout in Wisconsin.
Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Jessica Kramer for MRC-TV. For more videos, go to mrctv.org and make sure to like and subscribe on Facebook and YouTube.